Good evening, everybody. Willow, Mac, Theron. Hope you all are doing well. Tonight we are working on the hub. Last time we made 2 new characters to walk around in here. One thing I do want to do is... I want to fix the collision on this. This wheel does not have any collision. Replaying it up to the save point. All right, nice. It's not that far, honestly. The wheel has no collision. I didn't add any collision to the wheel, no. And once you get to the Goomba King boss, because I never added it. I never added a shape for it. Once you get to the Goomba King boss, oh, actually, you did get past it, because the sparkly text that wasn't showing up. There is that item you get at that point. It makes the game a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion. Why is this tilted? We will never know. I mean, I will know. Alright, so we're gonna do some tilting here. Line this up as best we can. It doesn't really have to be actually matching, but it would be kind of a nice to have if it did. Like that's pretty much close enough right there. I could get an exact hitbox on here, but I don't think we need it. We're gonna stick with that right there. I was thinking of making them just kind of like occasionally flip direction. Everyone has a list. Alright, so let's check this. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Instead of clipping through it. Yeah, there we go. And you can actually kind of walk up on top of it, which is nice. The bags are still a little bit rough, but I don't want to get that hitbox too complicated. Because I think eventually what could happen is if it gets too complex, you could probably get stuck on it. It's true. That's so true. Okay. I want to add some stuff, of course. So I was thinking that this area is a little bit too, open right now as it stands. We want to have more places you can go, more alternate routes for not necessarily for now, maybe for later. One thing I was thinking that might be nice is a big, domed hatch. Fairly shallow. Nothing fancy. And it may not be anything for a long while, but it could just look cool for now, We'll see. So we're gonna add a mesh. Gonna be a sphere. It's gonna be much larger than this. Not that large. Not even that large. That's probably about right. We can make it a hemisphere. I did not even know that was an option. All All right. And then give it some kind of metallic texture. What textures do we have available here? That could work. It's a little bit weird for this. That's supposed to be corrugated metal. That's not shiny at all. That's too shiny. What we got? That's not bad right there. We give it enough extra. So we add a cylinder here. We're going to make that significantly smaller. Okay. A little bit up from here, I think. Go up 0.05. There we go, something like that. See, that the corrugated metal might actually work pretty well on. Well, to some degree. Also, we don't need for it to be capped at all. No, we do need the top cap. We do need the top cap. Something like that. Like something like, I have no idea. I'm just really kind of playing it by ear here. Take that. Welcome in, Forgetful Programmer. It's like really flattened, maybe. Well, then it should probably just be a cylinder. But the nice thing I get here is the texture being more radial, which is kind of nice. Like, this is kind of interesting and weird. It's like, what is this? What is this thing? One, two, ring one, ring two, duplicate again, bring that up. Very mysterious, you know? I think it could use a big hatch wheel, of course. So we'll do a Taurus. This is not the sort of thing that should be made in Godot. But here we are. this should be flattened out pretty hard, I think. Yeah, sure. No, it should be kind of a rusty red. Yeah, like that. See the vision. Hello, Al. This will be in a hatch. Yeah, just a big hatch. I've got no idea what this hatch will be used for. But it's a hatch. Someday it will be important. It's very mysterious until then. Should I go? Definitely not. Well, that's certainly interesting looking, but like accidentally interesting. So, perfect. See, now this triplanar, or the metal corrugation is not good for this. That's not great either. That's pretty good though. That looks a lot more correct. It was Moo World. Keep that as that. And I want to see if we can do an like a overlay texture of rust. No, that's not the one. Rust overlay. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. That looks really good. That looks less good. It is silly. They should just push the holiday back. This might be what we wind up with. Who indeed? Who indeed? Alright, we're gonna do static body with collision shape of... Oh, this is gonna be tricky. Because I don't think you can do kind of a squished shape. capsule shape, I don't think works at all. No. Oh, that's gonna be odd. Can you do a cone? Cylinder shape does not let you have a different radius for the top and bottom. Definitely want you to be able to get on here. There's not really a conical shape that we can use. That is tricky then. Like I could do like maybe a very, very big cylinder or a very, very big sphere, but like just the top of it. But it'd be pretty huge, wouldn't it? To get the right curve without also getting the wrong stuff in there. Something like that. See, you get a little bit on the corners that I don't love, but maybe that's all right. And then maybe we bring this part up a bit so that it can be more pronounced. And then we can add a cylinder collision shape here. Like I said, not perfect, but not awful either. All right, well, let's try adding that in. Hatch added in. Random hatch. So what is it there for? It's a mystery. It just gives more things to exist. Let's see if that hitbox is alright. Definitely sort of surf over it a bit. I guess that's fine. With that awkward spherical bit going on, we can't realistically get this kind of extruded out without causing some problems.
Deep inside the hatch is a car. Inside that car is an egg. You can't do anything with it, but later you find out there was a hatchback in the hatchback in the back hatch.
Very good, Al. Very good. Bigger. See, that's more like, ooh, what's this? Hitbox is still awkward. But it's mysterious, you know, it makes you want to open it. And the wonderful thing is, if this is, say, if this, for instance, leads to a later game region, then I don't have to do any animating at all until we actually get to that point in the game. So it's the perfect detail to add. Also noteworthy is its low profile, which means the camera surfs right over it. Fills up a lot of otherwise unused real estate. Not crazy about the spot it's in right now, but that's fine. We'll find a place for it to live. But yeah, that's my take on that. That's what we want, is more of that. It can just be a cool patch. Yeah, it doesn't even have to do anything. I think similarly, we could do a big circular grate well. They do talk. This is gonna be a great well. So we'll do a mesh instance. Oh wait, no. Not a mesh instance. A CSG cylinder. 24 sides should be enough for anybody. Rusty shape. I really don't like how it does the mapping for CSG shape top and bottom. So it's lucky that we're not even going to really be dealing with that, because we're going to make the second one smaller and then subtract it out. So do this. And then do a better cylinder that is going to use the metal grate texture. Does not need the bottom cap. Honestly, doesn't even need... No, this is fine. Scale it down. Make that grate a little bit greater. And scale it until we get it just where we want it. There. Do like this. Boom. Willow beat the level. It's true, she did. That's good. That's good. We can do a rust overlay on this texture if we wanted to. What would that look like? Slap this rust on it. Not bad. Except for the fact that it doubles over, so we'll leave it off. We could have it in the ground, but it's fine. All right, and we're gonna do... You know what? We're actually gonna replace this one. Change type to a CSG cylinder, like the other one. Think about the fact that that makes it easier to resize. It doesn't let you get rid of the lower level, interestingly. So you just have to do that and then lower it down. But what we can do with this is we can turn on collision for both of these and not even have to worry about making a static body. It just becomes automatic. Cook some of his power-ups. It's very grill-like, isn't it? There will be cooking eventually. It's gonna take a while until we get to that. We'll have to plan out what that looks like. You're absolutely right, Al. It does look great. It is, in fact, great. I don't even know if there's anything else we need to do with it, or if that's good enough. That's a little bit too small. Let's double it. Move this dome hatch for now. Bring this over. Casual. So one thing is we need to make sure that we have a void beneath this, or else we just get this. So it needs to be over a hole. That's another little decoration we can have for the ground. A little clunky on the edges. Feels weird, but it's fine. Okay. So just some fun things to exist in the world. It keeps with the idea of these things need to be low. This could be an interesting little platform in of itself. Not anything we want to use too much because it could be annoying to have to jump from the ledge, especially if you needed max distance to do something like that. Cat's always getting into trouble. What if like a little bit of, I don't know, mist? How am I doing the waterfall? What is this particle effect? Mist. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna try some things here. Make unique. Make unique. Where is it? Oh. I see. Well, not like that. So let's see. Spawn location. We want a... I guess we'll do a sphere. A smaller sphere. Still pretty big. You know what? Actually, I think it's the shape that's big, isn't it? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna put this. We're just building a lot of decoration for the hub. So this thing is perhaps a little too big. That's better. That is actually quite a bit better. So now the spawn location, let's bring that down to 0.7. Yeah, it still is a little bit out the sides, isn't it? Pretty good. Is there not a circle emission shape? There's points. Ring. Ring is probably what we want. Not that shape of ring, though. There we go. That's going to be a lot better. Sphere combined to 0 on the Y. Can you change the... Oh yeah, I guess you can change the scale evenly. Well, ain't that something? Welcome in, lag. All right, gravity, way too much. Cool its jets. Okay, heat the jets up a little bit more. So the scale is getting... The scale over time is not what we want. I think what we want, instead of scale going down, keep it big. It can go down a little bit, but mostly I want to adjust the color over time from alpha curve. I want an alpha curve. Start at 1, go down to 0. We're getting there. That's actually looking not bad. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Let's keep the scale curve and make it go up. It's like a steamy cup of coffee there. Let's have the alpha curve actually start at 0 and immediately ramp really high up so that it kind of fades in. Feels a little clumpy. This is better. Can we slow down? Slow this down a bit. Change the time, the lifetime to like 3 seconds. By maintaining it linearly from the start until reaching the rim, then making it expand from there. Yeah. I'm not super worried about it being like precise. If I bring this down, does it even... I do see like occasional bits. Also, I think I don't even want to have it accelerate now that I'm thinking about it. I think I just want it to spawn with velocity. No spread. Initial velocity 1. Initial velocity 2. And initial velocity 1. Actually, you could give it range, so it's got a little bit more... Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. Are they? Let's find out. Initial rotation. So which way are we rotating around? What's our axis here? Spawn, display. No, it'd be somewhere in the settings for the material, wouldn't it? Let's see here. Mini game. Rotates around the viewport. Oh. Does seem like it is, isn't it? There we go. I think we want less opacity overall. It's just too much I think we want kind of a little, like a gentle simmer. Ah, the short circuit. It's been a long time since I've set this up. This was from room G, which was the third room we built. D. No. Second room we built. Can't believe you guys didn't get short circuit. This is a little bit better. Just kind of a very gentle sort of... Now, what is this going to look like? When we interact with it. Casual would have known that one. Short circuit was a good weapon, despite what people think. All right, so now we can adjust it to taste here. Give me more particles. Love it. So much of it, though. Let's go with 80 particles. And slower. Yeah. Lifetime. Get a little bit more life to it. No, I think it was actually fine. There we go. It's gentle. Barely play NG. You're missing out. All right, what else do we want to do? We've got two very round decorations to throw somewhere in the hub. What other kinds of things can we do? Remember, our criteria are we want something that is low profile so that the camera can easily go over it without, like the cart. We can just surf the camera right over it. It doesn't obstruct the view. It can be solid, like this pit that we have created, which we have made solid by virtue of just throwing an invisible wall on it. Yeah, vaguely industrial. Like, the idea is that this whole thing is just this sort of deep infrastructure to some great and powerful artifact thing. Because I don't want the camera to clip through the metal grate. It would be awkward. Let's see. We could just start adding some other little smaller decoration resources. Like, these are big pieces right here. This, and even the cart to some degree are large pieces. We could just add like a broken wooden pallet, some random plank scattered around. Couldn't you just put the things you have near the out in the other side? Railroad tracks will be for a specific area, but you're on the right track there. We're syncing up now. Brain waves are syncing. Hey, Bach, welcome in. Pit, not okay. Couldn't you just put the things you have near the pit in the other side? Oh, you mean like have a pit like on the back side instead of in the front? I mean, if it's got a big metal grate, then that's basically just a wall. I mean, an interesting wall, admittedly. But we're specifically looking for things that can be in front, so that we can exist both on one side and the other side, and maybe even on top of and through. This one, I don't want to put a final position on this yet because it's going to involve carving a hole into the ground. So I don't know exactly where this is going to go, but once we do pick a spot for it, I'm going to make a big hole in the ground for it to go on top of. Rails. Second person to say rails in the past 2 minutes. Rails will be a separate area. But I do like the idea. With some kind of texture effect? Probably. But consider, what if there was a character in there? Just powered rails. Thank you. Detector rail, activator rail, all the greats. Let's see here. Fish. We'll just put more fish. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could throw some of the industrial barrels from room A. These are fine. They're pretty small. You only played Link Between Worlds? Link Between Worlds was very good. It was kind of like Link to the Past again. pallet jack could make sense. Like, part of me is like, isn't it silly that these guys have a wheeled cart in an area that is like inaccessible to anything except by stairs? And then I'm like, you know what? No. Maybe they just pick it up and carry it around. But they need the wheels working for clout. They're cozy. Let's see. So we may throw in some barrels. Floor light fittings. Ooh. Now, we wouldn't want any working floor lights. It's called a carriage because you carry it. Horse-drawn carriage. I never learned to draw. Ba-da-ba. So the idea is that this whole thing is this whole building is shut down, and everything it was running. Black and yellow stuff. Yeah, we could do like some decals or something. Gotta be careful to make sure that we don't accidentally let the decals project onto the characters. Ooh. That could be fun. Some recreational activities. Let's see here. So this is, I feel like we might have made too much room over on this side of the hub. Like, this area might be too big. Yeah, like, that was my vague idea, is like just pits like this. But I'm not sure I want them to be actually something you could jump into. Or maybe they can be, I don't know. Secret area. I gotta decide. Okay, so the order of operations is you have the basic movement tutorial that the game starts with, which is basically just an interactive cutscene. There's no actual gameplay. You're just moving and opening doors and following what the game tells you to do. Then you meet Cat. Then problems happen. And you go to a tutorial area that is going to be kind of back in this, well, not actually in the walls, but like geographically it's going to be that away. Then you actually get a combat tutorial and a few basic puzzles about interacting with the interactable gears in the environment, how to control mechanisms. And then the idea is that you get spit back into this area, but now you are deciding, okay, now we gotta get back to where we started, but through a different way, which is this way. So I think that probably means that we want to drop the characters off on the south side of town. I think. Originally I was thinking they'd be up this way. But no, I guess we'll drop them off somewhere down here. So we'll need to pick some kind of actual spot for the characters to land. Something that's basically the town square. And that's probably going to be right in this zone. So you'd want some kind of big something or other. Or maybe the idea is like you have a big grand landmark over here. And it does not have to be something we have to go behind. We got so there's going to be kind of different quarters of the town. So you're going to start with only the right half of this area available. And then around mid-game, you'll gain access to the buildings and shops over here. Hey, Zoom. Welcome back. Thank you very much. So around mid-game, we'll gain access to this stuff. Mid-game is going to let you get over here where there's going to be even more things to explore. So the idea is by mid-game, you've kind of checked all the areas, you know what's going on. Now there's an idea. Am I going to... For a brief moment there, I considered, like, what if you could recolor your character? Like, pass. Yes, well, I haven't done that yet, but the idea is like, yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of stuff built on top of, you can kind of see the idea I had over here that's not really fully formed, but like everything is gonna be built right up against all these old machinery. To indicate that, yeah, it's like these gears have not moved. People have settled in. You know, a trick of perspective. They do sway through the magic of shaders. Wow. Let's see. Do I even want them to have access to readily available clean water, or is the idea they just kind of get the industrial runoff here? Are they fishing in there? I don't have anyone fishing in here yet. It's not to say that we couldn't. I do already have a fishing character in another scene that's already hanging out and doing some fishing in this zone. Don't worry about all the translucent boxes. Those aren't actually visible. Usually. He's a cool guy. I don't even remember if he's got anything interesting to say yet. He's going to say something along the lines of like, hey, you can't always get all the items right away. Come back later sometimes. The implication being that there's a treasure right here and you cannot reach it when you first see it. And he's here to basically tell you, no, you will get abilities later. I remember having that moment in Celeste, going around trying to solve puzzles, and then being like, is this the kind of game where I'm going to come back later with new abilities? Because, like, if I can get these things now, I would love to. Like, do I even have the tools I need to solve these puzzles? And the game would not tell you. So I want to be pretty clear to the player with these kind of little tips and be like, hey, some things in life you can't have right away. Yeah, fish. Think about fish. Don't worry about the little speech bubble that's invisible when the game is running. Something about fish. Blah blah blah. But also it might apply to the treasure that you see there and you're very interested in. I don't even know if this room still even works. Look at all this stuff going on, like all these little triggers and such things. You know, it comes back later. That's that. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on there. But we do have precedent for fishing character. It's not out of the question. Now we drew some horse characters last week. No, it wasn't even last week. It was earlier this week. We drew some horses. We made a raccoon. He's got a clipboard. He's very organized. This fox just jumps into this fence because this didn't used to be a pit. So he used to wander around aimlessly, and now he's actually stuck in the pit. Let's see here. Yeah, we've got lots of existing assets for just small little, like, here's a bag, here's an empty box, here's a barrel. Here's an industrial barrel. Can't cope. He can't handle it. He can't. He can't. I wonder if... How would this look like over here? That's certainly an interesting position for that, if we lined it up properly. Because then we could divide this area into, hey, there's something over here, and there's some other such and such over here. That could be something. This is where you're actually going. This is where you're actually going to get... If you think in terms of Thousand Year Door, which we're going to constantly do, this is what's going to lead you to the Thousand Year Door so that you can actually start chapter 1 after a while. This is leading to underground Rogueport. We've sort of inverted it a bit because in Thousand Year Door, you have this rundown city that's been built atop of secret underground ruins. But in this game, you have above ground, fabulous ancient city, and underneath it is crappy scrapyard town. So we've flipped it on its head a little bit, which wasn't really super intentional, but it just kind of worked out that way. This is not... Get rid of this. We're not doing that anymore. That's gone. We might do, however, some shipping containers. Okay. Is that the right size we want? What are the sizes of these over here? Yeah, 1.5. Okay. So that is the correct scale. And that pretty well matches the existing stuff we've got for the little houses. Oh, good. You're talking about Twink. You would do well to remember his name. Remember that time that Nintendo officially named a character Twink? Okay. So this is gonna disappear. These buildings disappear once you get back here. So you get the little star medallion, charm, whatever it is, and that gives you the ability to do timed hits. And that's basically what makes the game good. If it weren't for the timed hits, you would not have a very good game. It would be pretty boring gameplay-wise and not have a whole lot to offer. There, I've said it. What if we make this into a little room of sorts? Like, ooh, what secrets await us? Ah, that's a problem. It's not outright a terrible problem. I can tilt it a bit, or I can even make this taller. Yeah, that's actually quite all right with me. And now we've got a little, ooh, what's going on back here kind of thing. You see? You see? All part of the plan. So let's take this existing setup over here of mesh instance with decal, and add that over here. This decal is not very opaque, is it? Why is that? Why is that? Tell me. What's our reasoning there? It's because and why is that not flat out black? Problem with the texture itself. Albedo just takes texture albedo. Filter mode for the decal texture is set globally. Interesting. Maybe that's what's going on. Well, it's fine, because I think I can get by with, very silly, but yeah, if I multiply it, it still never gets black. Let's do a little bit of research on that. Decal looks different than expected. Let's see here. Oh, this is a super weird bug that this guy found. Huh. But that's not the problem I'm actually experiencing. Using decals. Unlike using an albedo texture with a more transparent alpha channel, decreasing the value below 1 does not reduce the impact of the normal RM texture. Okay, this doesn't seem to do anything at all. Let's see. We experimented tonight with letting our kids stay up a little bit later than usual. And you know what? She did all right. So far. Good point. Let's see here. ORM map. No. Emission texture. Always so exciting when you're a kid. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Oh yeah, good point. Chip! What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome in, everybody. How was it? How did it all go tonight? fun new features. Oh, that's right. You were looking at dedicated servers. That's kind of exciting. Yeah. That's the way to do it, I think. I've never needed to set up like separate applications on Steam within one app, but it's nice that they make that an option. We are working on the hub zone. It's got all the fancy things that a rundown, crappy industrial yard would need to be a city of people. I'm trying to get this decal to work. I was hoping, I've got a little black to transparent texture here, and my idea was, I will use this to, jeez, thank you, Godot. I will use this to simulate the classic sort of N64 method of, fade out into a scene transition zone by having this little gradient that goes to black, but it doesn't quite go to black. It just goes to shadowy. And now I'm wondering if there's some way, if it's like, it's you need to change the per pixel shading method to unlit or something. So I'm looking into it. I'm doing some Googling. We're checking some documentation. That's true. That's always an option. Actually, I'm not even sure how that works with decals. See, the nice thing about it being a decal that someone so helpfully pointed out, once it loads, is that, fast forward, and I'm having the same thing here, is that the player also gets darker as they approach because of, the decal is set to apply to everything in this case. I didn't do any culling, like any layer stuff. And so this is actually good, but I would love it if it goes all the way to black. Of course, we got this plain, this completely black unlit plane here. But everything up to that, he kind of fades out, which I like. I like that it's like, oh, he's going into the dark. It's great. How did you even get back there, cat? So I like that. I want more of that. And we're trying to figure out what's going on here. Let's see here. Decal, unlit. No, I get you. It's a different world. Like sometimes I get a wild hair and think about, oh, I should totally just spin up a little side project because I've got this idea that I want to play around with in 2D. And then I realized, weirdly enough, I have done next to nothing 2D in Godot, which is so weird because up until a few years ago, I was doing nothing but 2D using HTML and JavaScript, using the web canvas, built-in web canvas. So that was like all I did, but I was always making my own engines. The Maker game, that was all like custom stuff, so I knew how it was like splicing images and applying them to the canvas. So now in Godot, I'm like, I actually don't know at all how this is supposed to work. Mostly, I would like to get a little bit of knowledge in Godot about things like whatever the equivalent is of tile sets of, like, you know. Actually, you know who has a really good series, and it's very relevant to my interest. W-Y-E, is rather famous in the Super Mario World hacking community, because he really knows the assembly code inside and out, and he is doing a fantastic series on YouTube about building Super Mario World from the ground up in Godot. And he has some really clever approaches because the guy knows exactly how Mario's physics work, and it's not intuitive. Like, it feels really good on the Super Nintendo, but the way that it's coded, it's like, okay, so it's gonna increment by this, then increment by this, then the speed is gonna accelerate by this. It's weird, especially when slopes get into the mix. But he knows it all, so he's like rewriting it in GD script by hand. And it's really impressive, the progress he's making, because he's going into details on how he's doing like the different physics for different types of blocks, screen transitions, and he's showing off some really cool stuff that's just not possible on Super Nintendo hardware. And I'm really worried that Nintendo's going to shut him down. He's made some really good Mario World ROM hacks in the past. Willow, you played A Plumber for All Seasons a while back, which is a really good ROM hack that he did. But he's been a staple of the Mario community for a long time. I'm going to post his channel here. But the series is just called Mario in Godot. Really, really good series that goes in depth into some 2D Godot stuff that I never would have even known about. But yeah, it's really impressive. I imagine it is very fun to already know what the finished product is supposed to look like when making a game to some degree. Just because you have a much better idea of how to build it. Whenever you're programming anything, not just video games, you're kind of making assumptions about what the finished product is going to be. Because, as I have found in the corporate applications world, the people that are having you make the program know the general idea, but there's some things that are going to be surprises, and so you're always trying to guess in what direction do I need to allow myself freedom to expand, and what things are, no, this is absolutely how it will always be. You can build your classes on top of this assumption. In making video games, you got to be careful with that, because you're going to come up with ideas and be like, you know what? What if some characters just don't have? I don't know. I have nothing. What if some combat entities cannot be targeted ever? What if some of them never have moves? It's like, well, how does that work? How do they take their turn? What if some of them just don't die when they reach 0 health? What do you do there? So it's a lot of matter of just trying to figure out how to make it work. Okay, decal. Okay, let's try something silly. Let's make a decal that is just black. Just a black square. I don't have such a thing. I have a white to black gradient, which is something. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's not white and black. Is it because of the light? Like the decal... Yeah, the decal is definitely affected by light, which makes sense. It gets darker over here, lighter over here. So, in what situation would it be completely dark? Is it because of the surface that it's on top of? You know what? Let's give it a go. Because that should be the texture that emits light, right? Or at least appears to in some way. Give me a gradient. Give me anything weird. Give me, oh wait, I should use PNGs, shouldn't I? Well, maybe this can take actual textures, I don't know. No, it cannot take a texture. It has to take an image file. See, that's weird. Oh, that's super weird there. Huh. Oh, that's... Why is that happening? Oh boy. Let's try it. Let's try... Do I have just a white? I have a very close to white. I have white icons. Huh. Huh. Okay, and then albedo. Oh, that's weird. Oops. Oh, crud. Did I just move a file? Yes, I did. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. I can fix it. It's fine. It's fixed. Let's take a look. That's a good point. We got emission energy. Okay, okay. Oh, but that doesn't seem like it's taking into account the actual emission texture, which is a gradient. If I had like a checkerboard, I have circle. Here's circle. It's just a white circle and nothing else. Emission energy. Energy multiplier for the emission texture. Can emission texture have transparency? Use the alpha channel like a mask. Okay, to smoothly blend the edges of the decal with the underlying object. Well, I think we're doing that. We have an alpha transparency item there. See also modulate. That's super weird. Let's see here. What is normal fade here? Oh, okay. So that's like perpendicularity. If it gets too perpendicular, or maybe too parallel. AM. Albedo mix to full emission. See, modulate, I assume... Never mind, I assume incorrectly. Oh, modulate. Okay, so modulate affects the actual texture itself being drawn. So that would let me... Okay, so then pure black just becomes this. You know, Imp, it's going. It sure is going. All right, how about this? How about this? For comparison. Here is a Sprite 3D. And see, that is pure black. That is pure black right there. That's what we're looking for, is actual darkness. But the decal is like bottoming out at gray for reasons. Like, even if we set the modulate to black. Oh, that's really silly. Okay, I mean, that makes sense, but Wait, never mind. That doesn't make sense anymore. Oh, it's because I'm in the... I was like, why is this rainbow? It's because it's in there. Okay. So what if this decal was black gradient again? No. White to black gradient. Man, I just can't get it. I can't get it dark. Okay, reset the emission. Everything is set to default values. Like, part of me is like, it's because I'm placing it on a texture that's too dark. Like, there's not enough light hitting the texture or something, but that doesn't really make much sense either. That looks better. I mean, it's still not great, but we're at least getting... I don't know if I would call that good. So what in the world is happening here? Okay, well... It's certainly darker. Bring it down here. But it's not black. It's not even close to black. Throw in this black gradient here. It's like it's just a shadow. How do I get a pure black decal? Decal. All right, this might be something that we just have to figure out another time. Like it's got to be something with the could be something with like, oh, the lighting's not quite right. What are we trying to figure out? So I've got this decal that is the texture that I've applied to it is a gradient between black and transparent. And what I've found is that when I place it in the scene, I get transparent on one end and grayish. You know, it's like, it looks like it's 50% there. And we're just not sure why. Been trying to look through the documentation and see what's going on with that. Like, why? Is it something with like the scaling or something? So you think it might actually be the lighting, that because it's receiving light, the decal also lights up. That's why my worry, because on most of these, I have the option on the material to specify I don't want it shaded. Don't want this to shade at all. Let's see. ORM setting. We did see that. Red is used for occlusion. Okay, let's, you know what? You know what I've got? Is I've got a rainbow gradient here. Let's throw that in ORM. That does look a lot darker towards the corner. Let's throw some textures in here. Let's see what we get. Let's try a pure red. This might be the way. I had the documentation open, and I did not really look into what. So it stores metallic, roughness, and occlusion. Occlusion map is stored in the red channel, roughness in green, metallic in blue. The impact is multiplied by the albedo's texture channel. It doesn't really tell me what those. I mean, I understand metallic and roughness. Occlusion, not so much. So let's just get a very small square of pure red. You may have noticed my face turned red a bit when the screen turned red. Save that as PNG. Let's make a new folder. First, just a solid red square. Fingers crossed. This would be pretty nice. Texture. Create new folder. Solids. It's just red. Literally just red. Still don't understand what's going on with that. Not quite there. Let's see, do we have... So be really interested in... If we just had like a... Is that more or less dark? That looks like nothing. Tough to tell. Is it perfectly smooth, thereby doing weird stuff, making it look like... Oh, you mean like the texture we're putting the decal on? Or because... so you're thinking like make it rough. Like make it... get this... the roughness channel up. That's the green channel. I do have a vaguely green... So I throw green on that and I get this. Doesn't quite look right. Here, let's just make a pure green. Okay. We have, for better or for worse, a green channel. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and make us a blue square. Just so we've got these available to play around with. My reading so far is that Godot does not have a nice way to exclude items from the built package. when it's being exported. And I'm gonna have to look in to see if there's like an add-on or something that can do that for us. See, that makes it look, you know, a bit more gray. I put that on the ORM. Wait, what is so the normal is just gonna be, yeah, that's just our normal map. Red, green, blue. And then emission is controlling the emission texture to use for the decal. This texture will appear to glow in the dark. What if I made that? That wouldn't make any sense, right? If I made that black. Yeah, because like that should just mean we'll do nothing. If I did white on it, it's whiter than I would expect. It's like, how do I get an unlit decal? And there may not be a good way to do it. Let's see here. Does the albedo texture you're using have a gradient alpha? Yeah, so the black gradient, it goes between, here's the texture here, black, full transparent. Let's see here. No. Like, I can think of some other possible ways to implement them, this, but all of them seem very hacky. To the point that's like, that's probably not the way you want to do this. Does a solid color, that's a great question. If we do this, scroll up, scroll up, go. Let me up. All right, put this back. Scroll up. Blue. See, that's definitely darker than, and I mean, that makes sense. The scene is being lit. So we're gonna get shadows and light applied to this. But that means there's no way to get a pure... Yeah, see, that's like a darker than green. That's like darker than red. But if I do black, I get lighter than black. Let's get Krita up. Let's just go ahead. Why not? Why not add another 50 by 50 pixel image to our project? If I do black, we get gray. Yeah, because the scene is being lit. It's just a decal. It's just being drawn on the scene. That is tricky, isn't it? Did I lower the emission energy? Emission energy, I can bring that down to 0. And we still get a very clear line between the solid unlit plane and the decal. I'm gonna separate these out so we can see the cutoff there. It's one of the sliders covered by. Sorry about the lizards. I forgot those were there. Lizards, go away. What, you guys don't like lizards 100% of the time? What do you mean you guys can't see it? It's right there on the screen. Thank you for the suggestion, by the way, Meowletary. So modulate is, let me put in the rainbow here. So if I shift this to, say, red, so it's multiplying the color. So full white, we get the original. Full black, we get the closest thing we can get to black, which is this in this environment. I wonder if I took all right, copy this. Can you just a test node here? Actually, just give me a completely blank scene here. Give me this and give me a mesh. Box. Give me a big old box. Great big box. Okay. Now then, let's actually clear out this texture. Change my mind. Get out of here. We're doing a new material. New material. This material is unshaded. So it is just pure white. And this decal. Oh. What did I see there? Did I see pure darkness for a moment? Well, maybe purer darkness than ever thought possible. It's not black. It's not black. Well, hang on. Are we getting something weird there? Clear out rotation. Okay. Give me a black texture. Yeah, okay. Just making sure. So pure black texture. How is this still a gradient? That shouldn't be possible, right? Oh, wait. What? We're getting somewhere. Why though? Proximity to the center of the decal? Proximity to the center of the decal. You're right, it's the facing, isn't it? Wait, is it? What is the decal direction? Isn't there like a decal direction? Isn't there? It's not just gonna exist as a cube. But definitely the closer it gets to the center. All right, what is this? Or which the decal will fade as the surface gets further from the center. It's the fade. Get back in here. Get back in here. So we do this. Right? Right? Is that the one? Was that it? Vertical fade appears to be the one. Well, I mean, we're closer here. We've got it on this one. So now it stays there the whole way. No more distance fade to work. The vertical fade, no longer an issue when you get this really, really close to zero. But okay. All right. So this is our existing texture on here, which is certainly something still. It's like really close to here. We at least have what I would say, like, yeah, that's pretty much black. Add another mesh instance. Make it black. Oh, right. Make it a box. Sure. Okay, now make it black. Material is black. Black unlit. Okay, so pure black. Put that up against there. It's definitely not as black. But do this, then yeah, it is. So now we're looking into transparency being a little bit of a gotcha. Let's crack open Photoshop and make a clean black gradient that has more on the tail end of both sides. Just give me a 100 by 100. Is an old version of Photoshop. It's a little slow. Which, if anything, an old version should be faster on modern hardware. But that's just not how life works, I guess. A negative spotlight. I have done that a bit before. It's close. It's close. I tried that in our cave scene a while back. Formerly, this was a negative light, and now it's a bunch of gradient meshes, and I want to replace it with a decal once I figure out how to get that working. If we can get the true solution that we're after, you know? Okay. So we want a gradient fade. We're gonna do this. Nope, we're gonna go the other way. Also, we need to make a new layer and delete the initial so we get transparency. So here to here. All right. Well, I wonder if that's part of it. When you do a, that is something, right? Like, that's just the nature of gradients. Like, what do we actually... Hang on, let's get a white layer. Oh, actually, when I get a white layer in there, it's actually much more appropriately gradienty. There's still like some feels like I want it to stretch more of this part out and less of this part out, which we can do. We'll take this much, reduce it to here. And then we'll take this much. Oh, wait, that's the wrong layer. We'll take this much and reduce it to this much. And meanwhile, we'll take this part of the gradient and expand it to here. And then we'll take this part and move it here and try to stretch a little bit more out of this last bit. Okay, so we've made a very interesting style of gradient here. Definitely less optimization, but yeah, probably that's what's going on there. Okay, we're gonna try this. It's a little silly. Save that in our gradients. Black, alt, radiant. Okay. No idea if this is gonna make a difference, but we're experimenting tonight. We are experimenting. So what if the issue is, I think that is actually it. There's some, what if it's just not enough pixels? Like, what if 100 by 100 pixels isn't enough? Let's do something silly. I'm getting a citation. I don't even know what the problem is. What's going on? All right, look at this. Too many snails. Not enough snails. Turtle, you have no idea. You haven't seen the end of chapter 1. There's so many snails. You're gonna love it. I know. I was thinking like, oh, it'll interpolate. It's fine. I have no idea what's going on under the hood. Okay, we got 500 now. But look at this. Look at this. When I do this, it's like, just get this. It's awful. All right, let's save this again. Okay, I'm letting Photoshop build the gradient for me, and we're gonna try that. What does that look like when I put it in? Look at that. Look at that, how terrible the distribution of pixels is. Okay, now I feel, what? Willow. What? Where are all these bad opinions? You've been hanging out with Germdove too much. There's a man with bad opinions. How do we get a cleaner gradient? Like, this looks clean against white. Gradient on the color channels and not, no, I think this is solid black. It better be. If I hit desaturate, it looks the exact same. Way to increase dithering. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe on the import. Now, I've never messed with these, but what if? Okay, we're generating bitmaps. Textures will not be grainy in the distance. Performance will improve. Bitmaps just improve, increase memory usage. What if? Well, let's see if that does. No, that didn't do anything. Color channel goes from white to black with fade added on top, making it appear to fade faster. Lossless. No, that did nothing. high quality. Okay. I want to adjust. I want to adjust this. Now, normally, I would use the curves setup here, but we're not dealing with actual black and white. We're dealing with opacity. Now, is there a way to map? You better believe there is. You better believe there is a way to... All right, check this out. Check this out. Oh my gosh. Chat, I am maybe the smartest man alive. I've been hanging out too much with Dupu. Okay. Do this. All right, so check it. Invert it. There we go. So now we have a bad gradient, but we're going to adjust it with the curves to make a good gradient. A smoother gradient that gives us more time with the darker shades. Well, now I feel like we're just sitting in here forever. Oh, we really just can't get much of that, huh? How do we make this work? Need as much as possible. What image form? PNG. But I'm willing to change my ways. Okay. This is a significantly better... Wait, did I save that with transparency? As a matter of fact, I did. Well, I mean... Hang on. I mean, that's not bad for what we're doing. It's still not actually black here. This is at least better. So our gradient is better. Our fade is better. And yet we're still not getting darkness at the end of the tunnel. So now things get different here. So now let's take this decal and let's well, just duplicate it. Take it up surface side here. Let's see if this is a lighting thing. Whoop. Is it a surface material problem? See, that's still very gray. If you stack decals, I did try that, and it still maxes out at whatever our gray is, like this. So it's not really what we'd want. It's like it is like that is the blackest black we're gonna get with the decal in that setup. Pure black with no transparency and use the fade options. We do have that now as something we can test. Thank you all for all these suggestions. This is good. So with black, pure black, we still get gray. No transparency and use the fade options. Yeah. It's got to be the scene lighting, presumably. Hello? Like the scene. Why Why are you not gonna like the scene, huh? Can I copy a directional? Hello? Copy. Paste. Okay, we got directional light. Copy. Paste. Okay, it's not the world environment. I don't even have a reflection probe here. Is that just to remind me to mess around with that later? Well, it's not that either. How is it that this one is working? Not that. Okay. Take this entire room. This is an unlit material. Yeah. Oh, you mean oh, right. I see what you mean. Because it's on top of an unlit material. So if we took this material here and lit it again. Yep. Dang it. So we can't get the niceness of an unlit material as a decal if the material it's being applied to is lit. I forgot that when we were doing our initial testing, we were trying to figure out, like, well, maybe it's because it's the material has lighting on it. Well then, darn. It's so close. Yeah, I mean, that you would want that. You would normally want that. I just wish, like, for a material, you can specify, like, I want this to be unshaded. Give me exactly as it is. But for the decal, you don't have that option. Custom, no, Ash, no. Don't even think about it. Oh, man. I guess it comes down to how important is it to me that we get that classic N64 style? That's exactly what I was just thinking, Lag, is, well, if we can't bring the decal down to the end point, so what we would do is say, do that, and then color it until it matches what we want. Which is probably just going to be flat black. Or we could actually do it unshaded. But then we have to, like, lock it in a little bit more. But then we can just kind of, like, pick the color there. Or so I thought. Oh, the decal is on it. So that's awkward. You could layer that, but yeah. Just use another decal on the surface. Ah. Stack decals. I tried that. This is as black as it gets. It is as though it is first stacking the black and white gradients, so you get further and further to a thicker and thicker pure black image, and then it's applying that to the lit surface, which grays it out and murkies it out. Inside out cube. No, because then we don't get the gradient. Do we? Is there a way we can get that to work with the gradient? Because I don't think there is, because it's going to be against other surfaces that I would like to smoothly fade. All right, so get rid of this. Get me back down here. Not even in the right spot. So what if we just kind of go different gray. Decal, we tell it to visual instances drawn on. Wait, isn't there a culling? Oh, cull mask. Here we go. Let's just say 10. We're never gonna use 10. It's fine. And then this we say is layer 10 only. And then we say its albedo is this color exactly. It's like, it's all right. Like, that's pretty good. It's not black, but it's pretty good. I think that'll work. I'm trying to convince myself that that's good enough. Let's go up there and take a look. It's like maybe that's fine. So we get this effect. Which I really like. I really want that. That's one of the most important parts of this, is that you get this. Actually, having the silhouette there is honestly really cool. I do like that. I like that a lot. That's honestly, this is really nice. That's completely accidental. A very dark blue. That's an interesting idea. So we wouldn't be able to do that with modulation. But it would be nice if we could. Wouldn't it? Because then we could just modify it in engine. Exactly. Yeah. I think this is gonna end up being what we're gonna use. All right. So as an optional test here, we're gonna say go with a white gradient now, so that we can modulate it to whatever color we want, such as a deep blue. And then we would also need to make this match. Don't like that we can see something there, but we can just cover that up with... Whoa. Oh. An unexpected side effect. Huh. Eiffel 65? They are on the sprites, exactly, yeah. Which is very intentional. But that does mean that the only time that they themselves get lighting effects is from decals. I need to keep that in mind. That gives me a really cool idea for the Chapter 2 area. It's going to be kind of like this overgrown solar field for the exterior. And I was thinking, how can I get some nice little sunbeam effects going through? And I wonder if doing a little bit of decals every once in a while would be an interesting way to actually get light to apply to the sprites some. It's we may just end up using just some actual animated textures or something, but this is something to keep in mind as an option. That's actually a really neat effect. I really like the effect. We're probably not going to use it quite like that, but that's really cool that works. Okay, change it back. So one option we can do is kind of color this area a little bit differently, a little bit more. So we'll see if we can give a little bit more splash of color around this region. So one thing we can do here is rotate this gear a bit. Yeah, to get rid of that little bit in the back that was visible. That's a lot better. Okay, so now that we know what's going on there, let's do the same over here. Hello? Oh. Hi. What am I selecting here? Do I have two? Oh, right. It's the layering. The layering. And then Cull Mask. There we go. Nice. Okay. That is an interesting way to solve it. But it does work. Well. Oh, yes, absolutely. And you know what? You know what we happen to have in our possession? I happen to already own a very beautiful, a very, very beautiful decal of a big arrow. But I need to line it up properly. Oh. This is not a good spot to put this. But this is... Oh. Oh, well. Yes. Look at that. Look at that, huh? Look who's prepared finally for once. For once in my life. Uh-huh. Beautiful. And we'll put a sign over the door. I don't know what this is for yet. I don't know what this room is. We haven't actually figured that part out yet. But I'm sure it's a really important spot. But we'll have a big sign. Skillful game development skills. So that is from the first part of chapter 1. When you first exit the city, you come out into this little zone, which I really like this little spot here, because it really shows like kind of the transition of, you know, you're seeing, this is the first time in the game you're going to see any vegetation, but it's all sort of against the backdrop of like this really rundown industrial yard. And then as you continue further and further out, you get further away from. This is just scaled down. This is not to scale. I thought I was being clever doing like perspective tricks or something, but it turns out there's absolutely no reason to do perspective tricks. You can just do it full size. It's not like we're being charged for building the full scale set. You can just have it whatever scale you want. And then you get into some farmland, and then you start making it back into like this more agrarian spot where you get to Frogtown, and then you're in Frogtown, and it's like, oh man, I want to live in Frogtown. Frogtown's way better. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love Frogtown. That says Frogtown in Frog script. This is the guy right here that knows all about Frogtown and its history. He doesn't have a name yet. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do the ridiculous amount of like lore information like Thousand Year Door did. Thousand Year Door made sure that every room in the game, Goombella had something to tell you about it. Bug Fables did the same. In fact, Bug Fables had like the whole party have a little conversation, which I loved that they did that. It was really cool. But what Thousand Year Door also did is if you stood next to someone as though you were going to talk to them, and then you press the button for Goombella's skill, she tells you about that person. So not only did every room have flavor text, every single character who already has dialogue assigned to them also has extra information. Goombella will tell you their name and like she'll just start spouting nonsense about every character in the game. It's very silly. I don't know if we're gonna have the ability to do that much, but we'll see. It would be nice, but let's not get our hopes up. Okay, I actually feel good about this. It's growing on me. It's like this isn't what we initially planned, but gosh, if it isn't just doing exactly what I need it to do, but it's definitely a lot. Programming wise, it's like hardly anything. Like, give me a day tops, and we've got a system in place where I can assign an actor code to a bit of dialogue. But there's the small tidbit of writing. How many NPCs would this game end up having? Let's be honest. Like, how many actual unique actors is the game gonna have? How many is in this one scene in Frogtown? Has 1. This scene has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, Frogtown has 13 NPCs. Community outsourcing would be fun. I have such a solid vision on this game, and that sounds really dumb and pretentious, but it's like I know exactly what voice this game is going to have, and I'm so picky about it. Occasionally, someone in chat will be like, hey, you should add this. I'm like, yes, you get it. You understand the vision. But like 90% of the stuff, it's like, that's a fun idea, but it's not the right idea for the very specific thing I'm making. Super shotgun. Give Dabble a gun. This says Lily's pad. See, I've got like different abstract characters for each letter, but I specifically made them so they can kind of cursive into each other a little bit, and the effect is really fun, and I really like how the frog script turned out. The plan is to have another fake language in the game that is not going to be just English cipher substitution. It's ambitious, and the idea is that it won't be English specific. Like Tunic, Runic in the game Tunic was a very cool language that was not just letter substitution, but it was English. So I've got, like, that's the only problem I have with it. But gosh, that was such a fun language to. Ow, that's cheating. Adding lore for everyone seems very much like something that can be slotted in later. Yes, yeah. Just like making these trees bounce when you hit them with your spin attack. Phonetic substitution. That is exactly what. Well, I don't know if this is I don't know if I should be spoiling Tunic or if I can spoil Tunic since it's as old as it is. How old is Tunic? When did Tunic come out? Only 3 years ago. Gosh, I am so surprised because I remember looking forward to Tunic like 8 years ago, probably more. Like seeing the initial trailer and being like, I need to play this. This is the game for me. And then Tunic came out and I played it and I was like, oh, this really is the game for me. And I nerded out to an extreme degree. Yeah, we'll dig a hole down here. We'll dig a hole under this, wherever we put this. Okay, this is good. The hub is getting pieced together. We need to decide what's gonna go in these little spots. This spot will not be available until after chapter 1. Between the hub and the outside. It is. There's hopefully going to be a little bit of a cinematic scene of like coming outside for the first time. Although that said, you're not really outside for the first time, but you're away from the city for the first time. Because you will actually start the game above this area. It's a separate scene, but the idea is that it's up here. But it's gonna be the vision calls for it to be raining when the game starts. And so the first sunny day that you'll actually be experiencing is going to be very sudden and vibrant. But we will probably lighten up the interior of this a little bit more. Like this area is like kind of like dim, a little dingy, but it's lit. But it might be lit a bit more. I just really like this big. I want to make sure we keep this giant shadow. Like this is huge. This is very important that this giant shadow makes the cut. Okay. Next time, what we need to do is add more stuff to the hub. I need to start a list of things that are in the hub and when you can access them. Prologue and Chapter 1 will give you basically free reign to most stuff on this side of the river, for lack of a better word. Top level stuff up here, though, like this and this little spot and the area that goes over here, that is going to be for when you are about to start Chapter 2, because Chapter 2 is going to be that way through the wall. And then Chapter 3, we can start to dip into this quadrant over here across the river. And then around Chapter 5 is when you'll get access to the upper area across the river. And so that way we've got this slow, allowing more and more areas as you get through more and more of the game. We need to figure out where we're going to put our Pit of 100 Trials, too. That's important. We should do a raid. Let's raid out. Germdove is doing... What is Germdove doing? Let's see. Small Block Boy's working on his stuff. Photon's doing train. I do love train games. It's the language of my people. GFE doing Roguemon. Interesting. Let's see what Germdove's up to. We'll probably end up at Germdove's house. He's playing Geometry Dash. Well, then why is Twitch saying that he's playing Super Mario World? Yeah, we'll raid in the Germ. Perfect. Let's go hang out with screaming children. Thank you all so much for collaborating on the on what to do about that decal solution. So, yeah, two different issues there to note there. So the big thing is you cannot have an unlit decal. It inherits the shading method of the material it's applied to. We have learned things, which is good. I haven't done a lot with decals. They're very useful, but very particular in what scenarios that they are useful for. I will be back. What's today? Friday? I'll be back Sunday. Oh gosh, I gotta get to that. I'll be back Sunday for more of this exciting project. I know everybody wants me to get back to the combat stuff, so this actually does look pretty cool. I'll get back to some combat stuff. Maybe we'll make some new enemies sometime. Combat system is honestly fine. It works great.